I feel Japanese people really appreciate when you try to make the effort, and that's why they always say Nihongo desu like really quickly. Hi everyone, it's Jin, an advanced student at ISI Shibuya Harajuku campus.
Hi everyone, my name is Rolana. I am from the Netherlands.
Hey everyone, my name's Andrew. I'm from the United States.
Okay, let's start talking about something we have all experienced while being here in Japan, and that is setting up here. And yeah, I was just wondering, what problems did you guys face when you first moved to Japan?
I would not say it's a problem per se, but it would have probably helped me more if I would have studied a little bit more hiragana and katakana. It would be very handy if you know a little bit of the language.
I think finding balance, I've found that to be an amplified challenge for me here because I'm studying about 5 hours per day, like 3 hours in class, 2 hours outside of class, trying to work part-time, and also try to find time to enjoy Japan. So if I only end up being here for a shorter amount of time than I hope I am, then I want to make sure I enjoy it while I can.
So finding a place to live in Japan can be a real challenge, and it's something that a lot of people worry about. How did you guys deal with that, and do you actually live in Tokyo?
I live in Tokyo Prefecture, but I'm very far outside the city. Thankfully, there's a pretty fast express train that can get me here in about 45 minutes. The place I ended up finding was actually on Craigslist, which is a website that, like, depending on which country you're from, you may or may not know.
Actually, finding a place on Craigslist sounds really unconventional. Please follow your safety guides.
Yes, it was concerning.
Double check or investigate on Craigslist. My case was also kind of similar to yours. Had a look on Facebook Marketplace and was able to directly contact a landlord and therefore rent a place in a really central area of Tokyo. I know you said that you like living more like in the suburbs because maybe it gives you a little bit more of like tranquility compared to like the center of Tokyo. In my case, I would say that I love to be in the middle of everything, but I guess it's a lifestyle choice, I guess.
In my case, I didn't face really any problems. I live in a share house via an organization. Actually found my share house. They kind of helped me through the whole process and it went super smooth.
It's interesting. I think it's like a good mixture here. We have somebody who lives in the outskirts in more of like a bigger place, somebody who lives in a share house. So you live kind of like in the middle, but you share your space with other people. And it's obviously the most cost-effective option. And then you have somebody like me who lives in the center. Might be also cost-effective, but I live in a shoebox. So that obviously depends on you, but we managed to do it without any complications. So that means that you can also do it. So rest assured, finding a place in Tokyo is not impossible. So online, some people might say that you can live in Japan without knowing any Japanese. So what do you guys think about that?
Could be true.
Okay.
But depends. If you're a tourist and you're just here for your holiday, you can get around. But if you want to spend your life here or you want to work here, you definitely need to know some Japanese.
Yeah, I think that notion of living here and just taking by not engaging with communication is a little bit selfish, and it'll land you in situations where you're holding up a line, you're causing inefficiencies in a culture that really values efficiency. So you have to decide if you want to like stay in your apartment all day and just be in your own language in your own head, or if you want to just have a more enriching experience.
I definitely agree. I think it's better to learn Japanese. I feel like it's also good to give yourself the chance to slow yourself into the language and give yourself also space to make mistakes and have grace with yourself when you start learning.
I went to a coffee shop this morning that I'd gone to like 6 weeks earlier. And it was my second time there in my neighborhood, and my Japanese was better since last time I was there. So I was able to have a better conversation with the owner. Like, you can make each other's day by just like they see your appreciation of the culture, and you also get to engage with it more deeply as time goes on.
100%. I feel Japanese people really appreciate when you try to make the effort. How did you guys get around in situations where you couldn't speak Japanese?
Having like a translator app on your phone, moving to Japan in 2025, 2026, 2027, that's very different than 10 or 20 years ago. But this morning I went to the post office and had to like mail something very important back to the US. If I would have tried to do that during my first week or two here, it probably would have taken me twice as much time. But because I had like some language mechanics to help me through that situation, that made my morning 20 minutes instead of 45 minutes.
In my case, I was struggling during my interviews for a job because I had to do them in Japanese. Like you said, they use Google Translate and they don't mind it. They really appreciate having all these technologies to use it for communication. But if you would do this in the Netherlands, for example, it would be a no-go. So
Yeah, no, that's that sucks. Yeah, I think studying at ISI has really helped me to come into contact with the language every day, get used to Japanese. So then when I went out into like the real world, I was ready and I was able. And there's a lot of instances in which Japanese is needed. But thanks to ISI, thanks to having to go to class every single day, spending several hours talking with my classmates as well, and having the same shared experiences has really made a difference, I think.
Yeah, I think moving to a new country would have been more challenging if I didn't have something to anchor my week, having somewhere to come every weekday and have that sense of solidarity with people in my class who are also going through a similar experience. And ISI it's not just an aspect of moving to Japan, but it's also an aspect of learning to appreciate new things about your own culture and about other countries in the world. Like I've learned so much about international cultures in general, besides just moving to Japan. And I think that's been something unexpected and very cool.
Yeah, I think definitely having that sense of a structure, especially in the beginning, is really vital. Does the reality of living here match the expectations you had before coming?
Something that surprised me is when I got here, it was actually a little bit better than what I was expecting, to like actually immerse yourself in here for the first time in this country. For a lot of those like positive preconceptions to actually be true and lived in was mind-blowing.
my first image of Japan was it's gonna be like super chaotic, which of course Shibuya is chaotic, but Shibuya is not Japan. Luckily, I had the chance to travel through Japan and experience all of Japan and its diversity. Actually, it is suitable for everybody and anyone, no matter where you're from. How old you are, it doesn't matter. You will feel like home, or you will find your home somewhere in Japan.
And I feel like there's something for everybody, whatever your passion is, and there's no reason for you to feel alone within yourself. You can also make your small little community. So thanks for watching. I hope this video gave you a clear idea of what to expect when coming here. If you would like to live and study in Japan, we offer free consultations. Just click the link in the description box below. A special thanks to Andrew and Lana for being with us today. Don't forget to like and comment with your questions or experiences, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye!